public.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 and I am Rakshita Mishra with you. So one more case of hit and kill. One more case of misuse of money and power. One more case of an innocent losing his precious life. One more case of a parent fighting alone for justice. One more case of the system letting down. We bring you this case coming in from Delhi's Dwarka. 23-year-old is killed because a teen brat was speeding his car, all for making a reel, and he escapes the system as well. Story number 2 on 6 Stories at 6, viewers. Another case of civic apathy that claims a life. After NCR, an uncovered and unmarked pit in Kerala's Idukki led to the death of a 27-year-old. India is saying bonjour Macron. The French president and Indian Prime Minister hold talks in Mumbai. They release a joint statement from AI to trade to the much talked about defense deal. We tell you all that has been mentioned in this joint statement. Meanwhile, Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, the only captain to have led Pakistan to a World Cup win, is tortured so bad in jail that he has lost 80% of his vision. 14 cricket veterans, former captains, have now written a letter to the Pakistani government. Nearly 203 kilograms of narcotics have been recovered in a joint operation by the Indian Coast Guard and the Gujarat ATS. 2 Iranian nationals have also been arrested. We'll tell you the details. And we also get you Tariq Rahman swearing in ceremony, what he said, and not to miss the statement by Yunus, the outgoing head of the government. He provokes on the 7 sisters again. Let's start with the case of the 23-year-old Sahil being killed. It's in the national capital that a 23-year-old is killed in a horrific crash in Dwarka. But it's not some accident, viewers. It's craze for reels, the rules that are bent, and the license given to minors, the system letting these criminals escape punishment, and then setting an example that in this country you can get away. And the cost of a human life is so cheap. The case, in this case, viewers, the accused is a 17-year-old who was driving the SUV without a license. The killer brat was shooting a reel. For a reel, he sped his car so fast that he killed innocent Sahil. And what's worse is that he gets bail from the Juvenile Justice Board. Why? Because he has to appear for his Class 10 board examination. The victim's mother, a single parent, is now pleading for justice. She said this was not just an accident, it is the result of reckless privilege. It is the system. Watch this report.
Yet another life crushed under reckless wheels. 23-year-old Sahil Dhanishra was killed in a devastating road crash in Dwarka on the 3rd of February. The SUV, allegedly driven by a 17-year-old minor without a license, rammed into Sahil's motorcycle. The impact was brutal. The autopsy report is chilling. Sahil died from severe blood loss and hemorrhagic shock. A catastrophic head injury damaged his brain. There were major injuries to his upper limbs, spleen and liver. All sustained before death, all consistent with a violent road accident. Republic TV spoke to the brother of the accused, and this is what he had to say.
इसके पास लाइसेंस नहीं था?
नहीं सर।
तो आपने इसको गाड़ी कैसे दी आपने उनको?
हम लोग सर आउट ऑफ सिटी थे और मॉर्निंग की बात थी, ऐसा हुआ, लेकिन हमारा प्रॉपर वीडियो मैं आपको शेयर करता हूँ। आप उसको देखिए कि एक तो 1 वे में गाड़ी थी, हमारी गाड़ी स्ट्रेट जा रही, कोई सामने से आया गाड़ी में आगे घुस जाए सर।
नहीं एक मिनट, एक मिनट। आप उससे पहले you're talking about somebody else being in the wrong. आप पहले ये चीज बताइए कि how did your brother get the car? Your brother doesn't have a license. He's shooting reels here.
मैं वही तो बोल रहा हूँ कि कहाँ रील शूट किया, हमें तो आज तक दिखा नहीं कोई रील्स वगैरह उसका।
Police say the accused minor had no driving license. The vehicle itself had a troubling record. 9 overspeeding challans between November 2024 and March 2025.
Now this is the Scorpio, this is the same SUV, the Scorpio that the police is saying, which hit Sahil, 23-year-old Sahil. The front portion of the vehicle, as you can see, has sustained extensive damage. The bonnet is crumpled inward and folded upwards. Now it indicates a strong frontal impact. Just you can only imagine the speed at which this Scorpio was being driven. The left headlight assembly is completely shattered, and their internal mechanical components are completely visible of the car.
And yet, after being produced before the Juvenile Justice Board, the minor was granted interim bail to sit for his Class 10 board exams. For Sahil's mother, a single parent, that decision is devastating. In an exclusive conversation, Sahil's mother breaks down. She says granting bail is injustice.
जिस दिन सोसाइटी की खड़ी गाड़ियों में मारा था, उस दिन सोसाइटी वालों को समझ में नहीं आया कि कोई बच्चा भी मर सकता है। वो कैसे रह रहे हैं यहाँ पे? उसके बाप को अंदर करो अभी अंदर करो। इतने दिनों से बाहर क्यों है वो खुला सांड बाहर कुछ भी कर रहा है बैठ के, सिस्टम से खिलवाड़ कर रहा है, सिस्टम को मरोड़ तरोड़ कर रहा है, इसलिए बाहर छोड़ा हुआ उसको। अंदर करो उसको। पब्लिक वांट टू सी हिम बिहाइंड बार्स। बाहर नहीं आना चाहिए। ये लॉ मैं एक्सेप्ट नहीं करती। 1 महीना 2 महीना 1 साल मैं एक्सेप्ट नहीं करती उसको भी पता चले, अपनी फैमिली से दूर होने का दर्द पता चलना चाहिए इनको।
A minor, no license, a vehicle with repeated speeding violations, and now a young man is dead. While the accused prepares for exams, his mother prepares for a lifetime without him. The question remains, will this be just another statistic on Delhi's roads?
And another life is now lost for an uncovered, unmarked pit. This is a case of sheer negligence coming to the fore from Kerala. In Idukki district of Kerala, 27-year-old man falls into an unbarricaded pit dug for a roadside culvert. He never came home. He was supposed to fly abroad the next morning. Today, as his family mourns, the bigger question grows louder. How many more deaths will it take for authorities across this country to act?
A deadly fall, a life cut short. 27-year-old Chase Benny was riding home near Muthalakoda in Thiruvananthapuram on Monday night when his bike plunged into an open pit dug for culvert construction. No barricades, no warning signs. Chase, who had been working in Malta, was scheduled to return the next morning. Instead, he was rushed to a private hospital where the doctors declared him dead. Anger is mounting because this is not an isolated tragedy. It was just yesterday that in Noida, a 4-year-old boy drowned in an open temple pond. And just days earlier, again in Noida, tech professional Yuvraj Mehta lost his life when his car plunged into a water-filled pit. Then it was a 25-year-old Kamal Dhyani who died after falling into a 15-foot deep pit dug by the Delhi Jal Board on Joginder Singh Marg. And in Rohini's Sector 32, 32-year-old labourer Birju Kumar fell into an uncovered manhole, never to return home. Open pits, uncovered drains. From Kerala to the national capital, the pattern is chilling and the questions are only mounting. Who is responsible and how many more must pay the price?
French President Emmanuel Macron's visit to India is more than a diplomatic optic. From defense to artificial intelligence and climate technologies, the agenda is ambitious and strategic. But the headline moment could be the massive or potential Rafale fighter jet deal, move that may significantly boost India's defense capabilities. Both the leaders have just met in Mumbai's Lok Bhavan a while back. A joint statement has been issued by the two leaders. Here's more.
Bienvenue à Mumbai were the words of Fatalities while welcoming the French President Macron. This afternoon, PM Modi held bilateral talks at the Lok Bhavan. The agenda: to review cooperation across defense, space, nuclear energy, education, and climate technologies. The leaders also jointly inaugurated the India-France Year of Innovation 2026.
भारत और फ्रांस के संबंध बहुत ही विशेष है। फ्रांस भारत के सबसे पुराने स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर्स में से एक है और प्रेसिडेंट मैक्रो के साथ मिलकर हमने इस स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप को अभूतपूर्व गहराई और ऊर्जा दी है।
The leaders also exchanged views on regional and global issues with the backdrop of cooperation in air and maritime domains.
जो हेलीकॉप्टर्स के लिए जो फाइनल असेंबली लाइन जो टाटा एडवांस्ड कंपनी जो है वो मिलकर फ्रांस के साथ कर रही है, या फिर जो फिफ्थ जनरेशन के जो फाइटर जेट्स हैं उनके लिए जो इंजन्स हैं उनकी नई सोच, उनके लिए ऐसे कई जो क्षेत्र है जहाँ पर हम मिलकर भारत के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पर हम टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर में विश्वास करते हैं और जैसा कि आपने चाहा है हमने वैसा ही करने का प्रयास किया है। और हम दोनों ही जो है जो रणनीतिक स्वायत्ता है उसमें विश्वास करते हैं।
Macron also paid tribute to the people who lost their lives to the infamous 26/11 attack. The visit comes amid plans to deepen cooperation in artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. But all eyes are on the mother of all fighter jet deals, the Rafale deal. India is watching closely as President Macron flies in to sign the most awaited defense deal. From innovation to Indo-Pacific security, the visit signals that Paris and New Delhi are thinking long-term and thinking big. But beyond symbolism and ceremony, the Rafale deal could redefine India's air power and cement France as a key strategic partner.
14 former cricketers, legends of the game, have come out in support of jailed former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan. The 14 ex-captains, including Sunil Gavaskar and Kapil Dev of India, have signed a petition urging the Pakistani government and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif for medical care for the 73-year-old. The former captains have showed their concerns with the incarceration conditions that Imran Khan is living in, saying that Imran Khan deserves to be treated with dignity. Here's more.
Imran Khan, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, is in jail since August 2023. Since then, many reports suggest Imran Khan's mistreatment in jail and the jail conditions itself. Hot and humid room with insects, mosquitoes, Imran Khan suffering from food poisoning 2 to 3 times. In the latest, a blood clot in his right eye, causing severe damage, him losing 85% of vision in the right eye. Protests have taken place in Pakistan, but now the voices are growing louder. A total of 14 former international cricketing stars coming in support of Imran Khan, appealing the Pakistan government and Shehbaz Sharif to provide immediate and adequate medical attention to the former Prime Minister. It urges authorities for humane and dignified conditions during Imran Khan's detention in line with international standards. Requesting the Pakistani government to allow regular visits by close family members. Not just health, but the petition also urges fair and transparent access to legal processes. The petition says our shared history on the field reminds us that rivalry ends when the stumps are drawn and respect endures. The letter says Imran Khan remains one of the finest all-rounders and captains the sport has ever seen, earning respect from players, fans and administrators alike. Signatories of the letter include cricketing stars including Padam Bhushan Sunil Gavaskar and Kapil Dev, Michael Atherton, Alan Border and others.
The Indian Coast Guard and Gujarat Anti-Terrorist Squad have made a significant drug bust, seizing over 200 kilograms of suspected narcotics from a foreign speedboat near the international maritime boundary line. Acting on precise intelligence, the Coast Guard intercepted the vessel, finding 2 suspected Iranian nationals on board. Here are details.
In an overnight seizure in the high seas, the Indian Coast Guard and Gujarat Anti-Terrorist Squad thwarted a major drug smuggling attempt. This by seizing over 200 kilograms of a crystalline substance suspected to be narcotics.
कोस्ट गार्ड ने तुरंत इसके ऊपर कार्रवाई करना चालू की। एक शिप जिसके अंदर की एटीएस की भी टीम थी और इन लोगों ने उस पर्टिकुलर जो इन्फॉर्मेशन वाली लोकेशन है वहाँ की तरफ रुख किया। लंबी सर्च वगैरह के बाद में वहाँ पे एक छोटी स्पीड बोट नजर आई, जिसको अंधेरा होने के बावजूद जब कोस्ट गार्ड ने चेस किया तो ये बोट थोड़ी आगे भाग रही थी। फिर भी कोस्ट गार्ड के शिप ने इसको पकड़ा। पकड़ने के बाद में जब इसकी चेकिंग की गई तो इसके अंदर पहले तो 2 लोग थे। अब्दुल मजीद सन ऑफ इस्माइल रहने वाला चाबार कोनार ईरान का है। दूसरा अब्दुल सत्तार सन ऑफ कादर बख्श जो भी चाबार कोनार ईरान का रहने वाला है। ये दोनों की जब चेकिंग की गई तो इस छोटी सी स्पीड बोट के अंदर लगभग 203 पैकेट्स मिले हैं। इन 203 पैकेट्स के अंदर वाइट कलर का शंकास्पद केमिकल है। ये जो बोट है कोस्ट गार्ड की बोट है और जो पकड़ी गई बोट है, इनको सबको अभी पोरबंदर पे लाया गया है। इसका आगे एफएसएल से चेकिंग करवाने की कामगिरी चालू है।
Acting on precise intelligence from Gujarat ATS, an Indian Coast Guard ship from the northwest region, already on multi-mission patrol, was diverted to intercept a suspicious foreign speedboat near the notional international maritime boundary line.
In a major anti-smuggling operation jointly by Gujarat Anti-Terrorism Squad and Indian Coast Guard, an Iranian boat was intercepted within the limits of Indian waters near the international maritime border, to be very precise, 140 nautical miles away from the Porbandar port. Let me tell you, around 203 kgs of suspected narcotics related chemical was seized from this boat, and 2 residents from Iran, namely Abdul Mazid and Abdul Sattar, were also on board. They are now detained by the Gujarat ATS and brought to the coast station of Porbandar, wherein further Forensic Science Laboratory, that is FSL, have initiated further investigation of the seized substance. On the tip of senior ATS official around 15 to 16 February, that got to know that Iranian drug dealer, smuggler Haji Fida had sent in consignment from.
On boarding, officers found 2 crew members of foreign nationality. A thorough search uncovered 203 packets, each containing 1 kilogram of a crystalline substance hidden cleverly inside the boat, totaling 203 kilograms of suspected drugs. The apprehended boat and suspects were escorted to Porbandar port for detailed investigation and chemical analysis.
And Bangladesh now stands at a defining crossroad. After years in political exile, Tariq Rahman has returned to politics and now he has taken over as the Prime Minister. Following a sweeping mandate in the parliamentary elections, Rahman And all newly elected BNP MPs took oath at the National Parliament in Dhaka. It marks the end of the interim administration led by Muhammad Yunus and the beginning of what could be Bangladesh's most consequential political chapter in decades. We bring you what Tariq Rahman said as he takes oath as the first male Prime Minister of Bangladesh in 30 years, and also what the outgoing leader Yunus has to say.
A historic afternoon at the South Plaza of the Jatiya Sansad. Tariq Rahman took oath as Bangladesh's Prime Minister. The BNP's landslide victory on 12th of February has reshaped the nation's political landscape. It is the formal end of nearly 2 decades of political exile for the BNP. Rahman becomes Bangladesh's first male Prime Minister in over 30 years. He inherits a nation still healing from the 2024 student-led uprising. India has responded with a visible diplomatic presence. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla attended the ceremony accompanied by Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri and Lok Sabha Secretary General Utpal Kumar Singh. Meanwhile, Yunus once again raked up India's 7 sisters in his last address to the nation ahead of a new government formation.
খোলা সমুদ্র কেবল ভৌগোলিক সীমারেখা নয়, এটি বাংলাদেশের জন্য বিশ্ব অর্থনীতির সঙ্গে যুক্ত হওয়ার উন্মুক্ত দরজা। নেপাল, ভুটান ও 7 সিস্টার্সকে নিয়ে এই অঞ্চলে অর্থনৈতিক সমৃদ্ধির বিশাল সম্ভাবনা রয়েছে। অর্থনৈতিক অঞ্চল, বাণিজ্যিক চুক্তি ও শুল্কমুক্ত বাজারে প্রবেশের সুযোগের মধ্য দিয়ে এই অঞ্চলে একটি বৈশ্বিক উৎপাদন কেন্দ্র হিসেবে গড়ে ওঠা শক্তিশালী ভিত্তি প্রতিষ্ঠিত হবে।
From exile to executive power, Tariq Rahman now carries the weight of a nation's expectations.
And with that, a wrap on this edition of 6 Stories at 6. We'll be right back with live and breaking at 6:30 p.m. Thanks for watching.